What's up? How you doing? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing good. My name is Jake Letizia, and this is the podcast Talking to Myself, where I look into a camera and I talk to myself. What's up? Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you had a good week or weeks, or I don't even know when the last time I did this was. Dude, every time, dude, my body's been going through it, bro. This is the second podcast in a row where I got to show up and be like, hey, dude, my skin has been fucking up my whole life, dude. The last time I did the podcast, I came in hot and was like, dude, there was just a cyst on my perineum, dude. There was a cyst on my taint. And now I'm coming through telling you that there was a skin virus, a skin infection on my knee that was getting so bad, the doctor at the urgent care was telling me, hey, man, if you get a fever, you need to go to the hospital immediately. He told me, hey, man, here's an ER note. If you get a fever, if you feel feverish, drop everything you're doing, go straight to the hospital and hand them this note. And I was reading the note, and the note was like, hey, so I've had a skin infection called cellulitis for the past 2 days, for the past week. The initial antibiotics aren't working, and now I have a fever. I need to be admitted immediately or I'm gonna fucking die. He basically gave me fast pass for the ER. I didn't know that existed, dude. I didn't know you could get fast pass for the ER. But apparently if your knee is fucked up enough, you can skip the lines and get on King Ka faster. R.I.P., dude. R.I.P. King Ka, dude. You can get on the El Toro of the hospital much faster than a guy with a hole in his arm because the doctor was like, nah, dude, this skin infection is worse than a gunshot wound. I wonder how it works. I wonder who gets admitted first and like if somebody walks in with a stab wound, but they're not going to die immediately, but if I hand them the note, it probably is exactly like Fast Pass. Like when you're at an amusement park, there's certain people who get to hop the line automatically because you're like, bro, this person's like, this person's in a wheelchair. We're not going to make them wait. I wonder what the line is for the hospital. Because when you get Fast Pass, there's people with their kids. There's people like who are ferrying their kids all day. That they're awful fucking middle school age kids who are just at the worst point in their life, just screaming at their parents, making their lives miserable. And you're cutting the line, being like, "Hey man, I'm blessed. Hey man, I bought the thing." I wonder who I would have cut in line. That's the thing. I'm glad I didn't use it. Basically, what happened was, I had what seemed like a pimple on my knee, and I popped it. Word to the wise, if you have something that is poppable on your skin, never pop it ever, dude. People always tell you, dude, why does no one tell you the actual stone cold facts of the thing? I've talked about this on the podcast with hangovers before. Like people say, hey, hangovers get much worse as you're older, but no one tells you what gets worse. Like no one goes, hey, hangovers get much worse when you get older. Every time you get wasted, you wake up in the middle of the night with your heart pounding so fast you think you're dying. Nobody says that specific detail. They just go, hey, it gets worse. You'll find out. Why? Why let me just tell me the thing so I can be prepared? But that's how I feel about this, where it's like my whole life everyone's like, don't pop pimples because it could scar. Dude, I wish the pimple fucking scarred on my knee, dude. A scar is easy, dude. A scar is a blemish that some people want to fuck you for, you know? I'm much more worried about the thing that I got, which no one ever once warned me about. Don't pop your pimple, okay, when it's not ready to be popped, or even if it looks ready, dude. Because I don't know if this was a pimple or a boil or what, but my knee felt hot. I did stand up, and then I was just at the bar, hanging out all night, standing all night, and then as I got home, my knee felt hot, and I had what looked like a whitehead, and then in the morning it was like pretty big. It was like, I don't know, smaller than a penny, but like it was like a centimeter wide or something maybe. And I was like, okay, I'll pop this, and I pop it, and then it really hurt, and I felt a real intense burning. And then over the course of a couple of days, my skin just was getting super red on my knee and super tight, and it fucking hurt. You know when the doctor goes, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much does this hurt? And you always want to say an 8 so they take you seriously, but it really is it's like always a 4 or a 3. It's like a 3, dude. It's like a 2 that you're pushing to a 3 or a 4. But you want to feel that 8 so that the doctor's like, all right, everything you say, I'm listening. Because you say a 2 and your doctor's like, all right, I'm going to tune out and tell you you're fine. I'm going to wait for you to shut the fuck up until I can speak. And then I'm going to go, you wasted your money and your time. Go home. But this was the first time I've ever truly felt an 8, dude. This was an 8 all day. It would go away temporarily, and then it would come back furiously. A furious burning and sharp pain in my fucking knee. And I'm looking up online what this could be. Bursitis, I'm thinking it is. Like I thought it was like a bursitis that then got infected and turned into cellulitis. Anyway, I go to the doctor. They prescribe me an antibiotic. They draw a circle around the red area, and they go, if it goes outside this line, come back in 2 days. Okay? It wasn't the pit. Shut up. Shut the fuck up, okay? Every single person I've told that to is like, oh, that's like the pit. No, it's like a doctor stuff. No, it's like just regular medicine. We only have like TV shows to relate reality to. Everyone's like, "Oh shit, you were living the pit." No, I was living regular life, dude. I was living a regular 32-year-old man's life. This is gonna happen to you tomorrow, dude. We're not in the pit. We're in the world, and it's much worse. It's much worse because it's actually happening to you, you know? It's not like they call cut and then you go home. It's like, no, I actually have a skin infection, and now the doctor's telling me if it doesn't go away in 2 days, it could spread to my bone. It's not the pit. It's a New York City urgent care. That's what it is. Anyway, so it doesn't escape. It doesn't escape, or it does. It starts to move outside of it and hurt really bad. So then I go back to the urgent care, and, you know, if you ever been to an urgent care, you don't ever get the same person twice, dude. I mean, sometimes you do, but it's rare, dude. If you come on a different day of the week, it's a different guy. It was a woman the first time, prescribing these 2 things. Second time, this dude walks in, and he's like, first I tell the nurse about it, and he's just looking at me with no emotion, and I'm telling him stuff, and he keeps going, okay. He keeps me. The more I tell him, the more he's like annoyed that he's got to type it up. But then I hear him outside whispering to the doctor as if I'm dying, and then the doctor comes in and he starts looking at it, and he's like, oh yeah, it's definitely getting way worse. It's definitely outside the line. And I'm like, okay, well, what do we do now? He goes, I got to prescribe you a different antibiotic, but yeah, that's no good. Has there been any pus? And I'm like, no. And he was like, oh, look, it's oozing out. And there was like a little bit of liquid coming out. And he goes, yeah, that's an abscess for sure. And then he just starts squeezing it. He just starts, dude, what is it? If you listen to the last podcast, the woman at the urgent care did the same fucking thing. She just squoze my taint immediately. What the fuck are these doctors doing, dude? Is that the policy at urgent care? Squeeze without consent? What the fuck are you doing, dude? Is that what you're taught in the 3rd year of medical school? Hey, squeeze without consent. Get consent after squeezing. Post-squeeze consent is the way of the doctor. Fuck you, dude. He squeezes it up and it's oozing out, and then he takes a culture of it, and then he goes, I go, what do you need to do with it? He goes, well, I think it needs to be I would like to drain it with your permission. With my permission, dude? You started already, dude. What kind of a psycho starts doing something and then goes, oh, well, with your permission, can I do it? You fucking did it, dude. Anyway, so he squeezes that, and then he starts telling me, he's like, yeah, if this doesn't heal, it could spread to your bone, and then that'll be really bad. You don't want to hear a doctor say that. Yeah, if this doesn't work out, it's going to do this, and that's going to be really bad. It's bad when a doctor stops being graphic and just says normal words. You know what I'm saying? Like if he said more of a clinical, if he was like, if the infection spreads and then your bone gets osteoporosis, I'd be more comforted. But him just going, yeah, if it spreads to your bone, it's going to be not good. That makes me feel really bad. That makes me feel like you're inexperienced and I'm going to die. So then I say to him, I go, okay, but my leg isn't like, it's not even close to the bone, right? Like it's infected, like my skin's infected, but like what would it look like if it was going to be about to be infecting my bone? And he starts describing this really grim, disgusting picture, like my skin getting like darkly purple and like way more blood and like stuff falling off and just like it's smelling bad. A ton of shit that it's not yet. And I go, oh, so I'm not even close to that. And he goes, well, I'm trying to not get you there. And I'm like, bro, comfort me, dude. Comfort. I'm the one who's sick, dude. Tell me that I'm not close to that, so that this guy kept acting like if he told me I would be okay, I would not take any of the medication, which was pissing me off too, because he's like, he was really being like, yo, did you take the medication as you were supposed to in the past 2 days? Have you been taking it as prescribed? I'm like, motherfucker, I had a taint or I had a taint. I had a cyst. I'm so worked up, I'm saying things backwards. I had a cyst on my taint a week ago, bro. How do you think it disappeared, dude? You think it's magic? No, I know how to take antibiotics, you fucking asshole. Oh my God, this guy pissed me off. Then he starts being like, yo, you need to take probiotics. You need to have probiotics with every single pill you take. Every single pill you take, you got to have probiotics. I'm like, bro, can I just eat like a bagel? He's like, no, you need something. It needs to be something fermented. Like he's giving me like the most you have to do, like, but not actually what's necessary. Like when I got the pills, it said drink a lot of water, eat a meal. It said normal shit. It didn't say you must eat yogurt or kimchi. He was like, bro, you got to get yogurt or kimchi. I'm like, dude, you're sending me to 7-Eleven at 11 p.m. Where tell me something I can buy there, you fucking idiot. He's telling me kimchi. He's sending me to CVS at 11 p.m. and telling me to immediately start taking this drug. And he says you must have probiotics with it. And his first example is kimchi. Bro, shut the fuck up, dude. Anyway, so then he tells me, he's like, if you feel feverish at all, go to the ER immediately. But he doesn't explain it. He doesn't say if you have a fever. He just says if you have a fever. He doesn't say what temperature. He just says if you have a fever, if you feel feverish, go to the hospital. Here's a note. Dude, and to circle back to the fast pass thing is like, I didn't go to the ER. I didn't end up going, but like, who would I have cut? I'm really curious on like who the fuck I would have jumped the line in. I wonder if I would have walked up and a pregnant woman would have been told to move aside so that I could get my knee checked out. That's probably what would have happened. I probably would have skipped the line for someone who needed it much more than me. And that's also part of the thing is like he gave me this note and it seems like the note was supposed to make me feel better, but it did the opposite. Like it made me feel like, what if I go? It made me feel like, what if I don't go and I need to go? Like what if I don't go and I'm gonna die? But it also made me be like, what if I go and I'm not actually at the level of dying and I end up skipping a gunshot, stab wound, what if I end up skipping someone in line who's dying or giving birth and and somebody gets hurt, dude? What if I make somebody fucking die because this guy at the urgent care pressured me and freaked me out so much that I went to the ER when I didn't fucking need to? And so I get home and I feel feverish. I felt feverish, but I just told myself, like, yo, if you don't have a temperature, you're not going. And I kept checking my temperature. The highest I got was 99, fluctuated between like 97 and 99. Never went above that. I woke up in the morning, didn't feel feverish anymore, felt much better. Been taking antibiotics ever since, and it's been feeling much better. So the antibiotics worked, dude. But then he also told me, he's like, yo, in 2 days, you have to come back no matter what, especially if it's not working. But like, even if it is working, come back just to make sure. And I was like, bro, no. Because also, dude, this guy was like, yo, you have a huge abscess. Because there was some liquid leaking, but it wasn't pus and it didn't smell bad. It just was like liquid leaking out of this cut that started as a pimple, or what looked like a pimple. And I have a bump from Osgood Slaughter on my knee, and he's like, look, it's really swollen. Like you're gonna need that abscess removed for sure. And I go, well, it's hard to tell. Is it an abscess or is it Osgood Slaughter? And he looked at me like I had 3 fucking heads, dude. And I was like, bro, you don't know what Osgood Slaughter is, and you're talking about you don't know what Osgood Slaughter is, and you're talking about doing surgery on my knee? Get the fuck away from me, dude. That's the second time in my, maybe, I don't know. There might have been other times too. But the first time, I'm very sensitive to people not knowing what that is. Not a normal person. A normal person in life, why would you know what it is? I didn't know what the fuck it was when I had it. But like my first pediatrician, when I first got Osgood Slaughter, my pediatrician had no idea what the fuck it was. And then he sent me to whatever the bone doctor's called. And the doctor immediately was like, oh, you have Osgood Slaughter. It's like a very you play sports? I go, yeah. He goes, you play football? I go, yeah. He goes, yeah, that happens. From contact sports, usually you bang it up enough and it grows a certain way where there's a it juts out. The bone there's a permanent bump on your bone. And he goes, your pediatrician didn't know that? And he knew the guy by name. I go, yeah. He goes, that guy didn't know that? I go, no. He goes, that's pathetic. And then it made me be like, yo, why am I? And then I went back to that pediatrician for years, and I was like, bro, if I was older, I'd be arguing, you know? It's kind of fucked up that I was like too young to understand, like, yo, maybe I should talk to my parents and not go to this guy who was called pathetic by another doctor. You don't want to go to a pediatrician for 7 more years after a bone doctor, a specialist in bones is like, bro, that guy's a fucking dumbass. So this guy didn't know what Osgood Slaughter was, and I was like, all right, I'm not coming back to you. And the antibiotics have been working, and the abscess seems, if there was an abscess, it seems to be gone. So we're good, dude. It seems like we're good. Knock on wood. Also, every time I was going to the urgent care, since I don't have insurance, I fucking lost my insurance at the top of the month. It's been $225 every time I fucking go, dude. Every time I go to the urgent care, it's $200, dude. And this guy goes, you need to come back just to make sure. I'm like, bro, if the antibiotics work, I'm never seeing you again, dude. But, yeah, so I'm good now. Hopefully the next podcast isn't my girlfriend coming on being like, Jake died. Jake got a 3rd skin illness, and he did not recover from this one, dude. No. We don't want that. You gotta do knock on wood. Praise be to God. Don't let me die. Yeah, dude. So, dude, it was bad, dude. It was. You know how even if you're not religious, you just the upbringing comes out of you. That's what was happening to me, dude. I was just praying to God. I was like, please let this pain go away and let this get better, and don't have me have to go to the hospital with no insurance. I was like, God, I was brought up believing in you. As I've gotten older, I'm not sure, but right now in this moment, you gotta exist and you gotta help me, dude. I feel like that's how most people go through life, believing in God. It's like, bro, I'm not sure about it until I really need it, and please be real, bro. Please help me out. Um, yeah. Anyway, I've been I've been seeing a lot of shit about chefs on the internet. Um, Certain movies just keep popping up all the time, and one of them is that Bradley Cooper movie where he's, I guess he's essentially Gordon Ramsay. I don't know if it's based on a true story, but it's just Bradley Cooper yelling at people in the kitchen, and it had me thinking about like, I mean, people have definitely explored this before, but like, uh, why are men in kitchens so aggressive, dude? I was looking it up. I was like, why are men in? Because my first instinct is because people say like road rage. The reason why people get so angry when they're driving is because you're unconsciously uh, in a life or death situation. Like you're not thinking about the stakes of being in a car when you're in one, but subconsciously your body feels it. And so when somebody cuts you off or somebody does something, you have what you perceive as an overreaction, but what makes sense physiologically in your brain. I don't know if that's the right word, but what makes sense in your physiologically because you know your brain is like, I could die here. So this person cutting me off is someone attempting to kill me. So I'm gonna pull over and I'm gonna kill them before they kill me. You know, it's like you have exaggerated emotions because of the heightened stakes of what you're doing. And so I was like, oh, maybe that's what it is being in a kitchen. You know, there's flames, there's knives, there's lots of things that could potentially harm or maim a person. Which that might be an aspect of it, but also at the same time, it's like, but why is it like so macho, dude? Why is it like, why are like these chefs being like, yo, I'm protecting my kitchen, dude. I'm the fucking alpha of the kitchen. Why are there alphas in the kitchen? And so to me, the self-appointed head chef, like the head chef being the alpha of the kitchen, it seems less like a life or death scenario, and more like a man who was once a boy, and when he was a boy, he liked cooking. And if you like cooking and you're around other little boys, they unfortunately are gonna call you a girl. I don't think it's right, but it's what little boys are. They don't do good things, dude. Little boys do bad shit, dude. Little boys are all about just making another little boy feel the worst that they possibly can feel. That's the objective of a young boy. Is how do I make the guy next to me feel the worst he ever could feel so that everyone else laughs? That's it. That's your only objective as a boy. When you're in 7th grade, dude, all you're trying to do is shit on one kid so that everyone else laughs hysterically, and a girl who you've never spoken to and you won't get the courage to speak to until you're like a senior in high school, that she snickers enough for you to be like, yo, when I'm a senior, maybe we'll kiss. That's you. So if another boy and when you're a little boy in school, like you don't know anything about anything. All the boys and girls, everyone in school, they don't know shit about anything. So any stereotype they hear, anything about the world they hear, they try and apply it and think it is real. So if you're a little boy, you think, unfortunately, you think the sexist thing of like, well, girls are in the kitchen. You're also growing up with a mom who might be cooking. You say and think a toxic thing, and then this kid who likes cooking, he takes in all of his school, his entire class, saying that he's a girl for liking cooking. He takes the weight of that, and then he's 40, head chef at a Michelin star restaurant, screaming at everybody. And all he is really trying to scream is, I'm not a girl, dude. I'm a fucking man, dude. I'm not a girl. And everybody in the kitchen is also a man, and they're like, yeah, bro, no one thinks you're a girl, dude. Like, we're all not girls. Honestly, there should be more girls. You should hire a woman. That's what it is, dude. That's I figured out the entire kitchen hierarchy, dude. It's young boys who are called girls so aggressively that they grow up with a complex, and then that's why there's like, they're not hiring female chefs, dude. That's why there's sex. I mean, I'm sure it's better now, but that's why there was so much, or probably still is. I mean, I'm sure that there's definitely some of it still, for sure, dude. But that's why there's sexism in the kitchen, dude. It's because this head chef is like, he's trying so hard to make it, to prove to himself that only that men belong in the kitchen, that he will only hire men. And the rest of his kitchen, who is much more secure and a little bit younger, kids who maybe weren't insulted as much because they lived in a kinder generation, they're standing there like, bro, you should hire some women and you should talk to a therapist, dude. Calm the fuck down. Dude, chefs need to chill out, dude. Chill the fuck out. The Bear, dude? What are we doing, bro? I haven't watched The Bear, to be fair. But I've seen clips, and it's all the same. Hands, hands, hands. This is life or death, dude. It's like, bro, shut up and cook the shrimp, Shut up and cook the shrimp, okay? I ordered a lobster. You're a guy, you're a man, unless you don't want to be. I don't know what you want with your life. But I've heard you're good at cooking things. So make my lobster and chill out, dude. Stop screaming. Stop screaming and put the meat into the frying pan. All right, that's it for the first half. Yeah. All right, that's it for the first half. I'll see you guys in the next part. What's up? I'm back. Dude, my dog wants to go out so bad, dude. She got to wait though. I gotta finish this up. I might end a little bit early. I don't know. We'll see. I gotta make it to dinner too. Damn it, dude. Yeah, chefs are weird, dude. I guess if you're, I don't know. Gordon Ramsay's softened though. I don't know if it's because the world has changed, or if maybe he's, maybe that's the arc of a chef, is that they're called a girl, they grow up, they're still an insecure 20-year-old, then they become this, and then they're like really good at being a chef, so then everyone coddles them, so then they just continue to be a fucking asshole, piece of shit, cunt face, and then they gain success, have a family, become secure with themselves, and then they end up being a nice guy. That's Gordon Ramsay's life. He was called a girl, proving he's a big, strong man, and then he gets a family. He has a son who doesn't give a fuck. He has got a son who's secure about himself. His wife is like, yeah, you're a guy. You're a man, dude. I see you as a man. Chill the fuck out. Make me eggs. And then he's like, oh, okay, let me make a TV show where I'm nice to kids now. And that whole show is just him trying to, dude, I figured it all out, dude. That Gordon Ramsay show where he's cultivating the youth of America, the young chefs of America, and he's being super nice to them. Dude, it all makes sense, bro. He's being nice to them so that they aren't bullied in the way he was, that made him a piece of shit in the kitchen, dude. Dude, he's going back to the roots to fix generational trauma, bro. That's what Gordon Ramsay's doing, dude. Dude, it all makes sense. I was confused by that show. I was like, is he just nice because it's like he can't be mean anymore? I'm like, no, dude. When it comes to kids, he's super nice because he remembers, whether he remembers it in a self-aware way or subconsciously, he looks at a young boy and he's like, yo, you're just a good chef. You're not a boy, you're not a girl, you're nothing. You're a chef, dude. You're more than that. You're a chef, dude. That part of it doesn't matter, and I don't want it to hurt you like it hurt me, and just be yourself and cook those crepes, dude. That's what it is, dude. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful full circle thing, dude. Gordon Ramsay is he was the problem and now he's being the solution, dude. That's what you got to do in life, bro. You got to figure it out, dude. You got to get to the core of what happened to you, and you got to help the next generation be better, dude. You ever play God of War, bro? We're the gods we choose to be, bro. We must be better, dude. That's what Gordon Ramsay, dude. That's what Gordon Ramsay did, dude. He did a full Kratos on those kids, bro. Teaching them that they can be better, bro. Dude, that's beautiful. Oh man. Dude, my friend, he told me that he borrowed a hammer from the library. Which I didn't know you could do. I had no idea. He's like, yeah, I borrowed a hammer from the library. And I was like, or no, he didn't borrow a hammer. He borrowed a power drill. And I was like, why don't you just buy one? He goes, well, how often am I going to use a power drill? And I'm like, how is it? A power drill's got to be max $60, dude. And then he was telling me his friend did that with the power. Like she is the one who put him onto the idea. She not only rented a power drill, but she rented a hammer as well. A hammer, dude. You're waiting 2 weeks to get something you could buy for $20 maybe? 15, $20, and you'll have it for half of your life probably. I mean, if you buy a hammer or a power drill, it's going to last you at least a decade if you're using it accurately. And in a decade, that's the thing, is that people don't think about like long term. Like if you buy a power drill or a hammer, it's going to last you, like you're going to need, people think like, oh, how often am I hanging things up? Probably once or twice a year or once every other year. Ultimately, if you're going to live at least 10 years, buy a hammer. But dude, that whole thing, it was like so funny to me because I didn't even know you could do that, and I was like, bro, don't let Tucker find that out, dude. Don't let fucking Jordan Peterson or Tucker Carlson find out that Gen Z is renting hammers from the library. Isn't that such a like what you would see them being really mad about? I could see Jordan Peterson being like, and at what cost? At what cost are you hammering? You're waiting for a hammer. You're wasting your life waiting for something that you could conquer today. You're putting off for months of your life a thing you could do in an instant if you just bloody committed. Do you understand how dirty your room will become because you're waiting for that power drill? My Jordan Peterson is Irish Kermit the Frog. It's bloody awful. Think of Pinocchio. Think of Pinocchio. If Pinocchio never understood that the lying was bad, he would have never progressed. This hammer is your nose. You must shed the nose and buy the hammer. It's the only way to become what you've truly strived to. I can't do Tucker at all, dude. Tucker's just, these kids, I can't believe it. He's just high pitched to me. He's just like a high pitched schizophrenic guy. Huh? You know? That's I can do his laugh, dude. I can do his laugh because I sympathize. I have a psychotic laugh as well. But literally, that's what he is. He's talking very normal. He's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Like it's kind of crazy, Dude, he's got to laugh like he's trying to hide a person in there, Dude, as a guy with a crazy laugh, he's got a crazy fucking laugh, dude. I don't know what that says about a person. I don't know. I can't judge too much. You got to be the judge of what that laugh really means. He'll be on Joe Rogan being like, I actually think that the nukes are bad. Like, I don't think our country should nuke somebody. I don't think a country should nuke anyone. I don't think that should happen, you know? It's like, why would you do that? Which, kudos to, I agree with him, dude. You probably shouldn't nuke anybody. Until we go to space, dude. Dude, it's so funny. Everyone's worried about nukes. Or, like, you know, you'll see people being, like, worried about nuclear war. And I really feel like we don't have to worry until someone successfully moves to space. The moment someone successfully moves to space, there's going to be a nuke. There's going to be a dropped nuke, for sure, dude. If we could figure out how to fully exist, if we could figure out how to exist without an astronaut suit on the moon, somebody's going to get flagrant with it, dude. Somebody's going to get risky as hell. I think the number one thing stopping nukes from dropping is just that there's no, like, this is the one place we are, and this is the one place we know we can be, and let's not shit where we eat. That's how we are as a civilization. That's how we are as people. We're the reason why we don't have nuclear war is because of the age-old principle of you don't shit where you eat. The moment where we can eat somewhere else, we're taking a big giant nuclear shit on the planet. And when I say we, I mean the human species. Everybody's doing it. One's gonna go, another one's gonna go, 10 will go. And then whoever got to buy the ticket to Mars and the moon, they're gonna be watching it from those planets. It's gonna be like a fireworks show for the people who could afford to go to a different planet. That's what it's gonna be. The annihilation of the world is going to be a pay-per-view for whoever was rich enough to be on a different planet. Dude, that's dark, but that's probably true, dude. No, that's not true. That won't happen. My dog's freaking out, dude. I don't know, man. I hope that doesn't happen. I also don't want to live in a different, I don't know. Or maybe it'll be the opposite. Maybe it'll be like, let's go to different planets. We could fucking duke it out up there. Maybe we'll be watching from down here. Maybe we'll take the nukes into space and then we'll have fucking space wars. And then we'll have we'll have Star Wars IRL streaming on Kick, and then we'll just watch nuclear warfare from our fucking iPhones. We'll watch it happen in space. We'll watch the ultimate duke out. That could happen, dude. Anything can happen. Don't you feel that way, dude? Don't you feel like we're in a world of endless possibilities? That's how I feel right now. In a bad and a good way, dude. Like I don't know. There's a lot of bad, though. There's a lot of shit that, like, really bums me out and doesn't feel good. I don't know. Like people always talk about authenticity on the internet. And how that's what people want. That's what people want, authenticity. People are drawn to authenticity. But when you think about it, it's like on the internet, there's very few authentic people. There's like a couple of authentic people, and then the majority of people who are successful are the most disingenuous, grifting pieces of shit you've ever heard speak. Just people who are saying one of three opinions you say to get a check. That's so many people on the internet. And it feels like the whole system, the whole algorithmic system of the internet, I don't think it started there, but I think it's gotten to a point where it wholly encourages for you to be like everybody else. It discourages any individuality that you might even glean from your mind, dude. Like, all of it is following the trend. Remember bucking the trend? Remember going against the grain and bucking trends, dude? Now it's absolutely follow the fish and follow the trend? What is the dance everyone's doing? What's the sound everyone's doing? How do I trick the system into making my clip go viral that I didn't even think that much about when I posted it? All of the encouragement online is like, don't think, it doesn't matter how good your video is, just post it. All that matters is quality over quantity. All that matters is throwing shit into the universe and waiting for people to like the smell of one of them. That's what the internet feels like. It feels like everyone's throwing shit at the wall, and some of it doesn't smell quite like shit, but it's still shit. You know? I don't know. Lately I've just been feeling like, I don't know, because I got into a rhythm of like, let me post like this, let me do this, let me do the thing that you're supposed to do that'll make people see your shit. And now I'm more in the place of like, let me just fucking do the opposite. Let me just make things that I like, and if no one ever sees it, at least I like what I made, you know? I know so many people who they make things and they hate it. They hate what they make. And you talk to them about like, hey man, good for you. You got a lot of followers. And they're like, yeah, dude, but it's a grind. And most of the shit I make sucks. And you're like, well then why don't you just make less, have less followers, and feel better about yourself? I don't know. There's people who are grinding their lives away and they get like 50,000 followers, and it's like they're grinding it. They're miserable and grinding out trying to get to 1 million so that maybe it can finally make money for them. I don't know. I know a lot of very funny people and they have like 50,000 followers and they hate what they're doing all the time. And it's making me be like, and it's some of the funniest people I know, and it's like, it makes me want to just be like, bro, just fuck what's working. Just make shit that is good, dude. And eventually the good shit will resonate. But what's sad is thinking and saying that, it feels futile. Like people will roll their eyes at that. People will roll their eyes at someone trying to be genuine. That's why I don't know. I kind of don't believe in the authenticity. Authenticity. I think some people are drawn to authenticity, but I think most people aren't. I think most people are drawn to people who pretend that they're authentic. I think most people want to believe in a bad thing, and there are people who are pretending to authentically represent a terrible thing. I think that happens a lot. And also, we're just, like I said, we're just at a point where it's like, it's hard for anything good to rise to the top because you have people who have machines behind them who are just shitting out the garbage, who are just doing quality or quantity over quality constantly at a pace that you could never keep up with. But in a way, I think that's a good thing. In a way, I think that's a good thing because I think there's so much shit and there's nonstop slop, dude. The slop is endless. The last like 10 YouTube videos I watched, I got like 5 minutes into it and then I paused it and I went, I don't care. I went, who gives a shit? And then I turned it off. But I don't think I'm alone in that. I think more and more people are sick of the slop, dude. More and more people are just like, what the fuck am I looking at? Why am I looking at it? Why the fuck do I care about this? I don't care about this. Why is it coming to me, dude? I don't know. And I don't know if the solution is to opt out or to opt in and make shit that doesn't suck. But who knows, dude? You could be just contributing to the slop. You never know, dude. You never know if you are the slop or you all are the quality. Most of us are slop, dude. This might be slop, dude. This might be pure shit that I'm spewing out of my face. Sometimes it feels like it is. But I hope it's not. And maybe that's all you can do is make shit and hope it isn't shit. Say what you believe and hope it resonates and hope that it's not just absolute garbage. Maybe the only thing you really can do is try. Just try to say something that doesn't feel like 30,000 other people already said it. But it's okay if you do, though, you know? I don't know. That's why it's complicated. That's why it's hard. It's because it's like you don't want to stifle an individual thought from existing because the person had to think a lot of generic shit before they got there. Because sometimes you give out your mundane opinion. Sometimes you have the same opinion as everybody else on a lot of different shit. And sometimes just being comfortable enough to say the things that you agree on will get you in the place where you're finally comfortable to say the thing that it seems like no one agrees with, but it's just a thing that people haven't thought about yet. I don't know. I get worried about unique thoughts. And now I'm just starting to sound like a I don't know. Maybe I'm sounding like a posh cunt. Maybe I'm just sounding like a, stuck up dumbass. I don't know. I just worry about that. I worry about the machine gun pace at which it takes to exist in the current world of entertainment makes me terrified that no one is patient enough to hold on to the things that are actually good. It's just a sea of that's I mean the reason why I'm saying shit is because it's the only thing I could think of. The only thing I could think of is shit and puke. It's just people throwing up. It's expulsion. It's constant expulsion of like shit that all looks the same, shit that all is the same, and then every once in a while you'll see something unique, you'll see something that's good. And you'll be like, why isn't this bigger? Why isn't this like the most popular thing I've seen? You'll see somebody with 1 million followers, and you'll see someone with 50,000, and the person with 50,000 seems like they make things that are worth the million, you know? But then it's also like, what's this metric? We all like we're all following these metrics and we're all subscribing to these metrics that like ultimately seem fucking stupid as fuck. I've met people who don't even have social media who are way more interesting than people with 2 million followers. That's the thing too, is you'll meet people who are really good at this game and they have clout and they have people suckling at their teat and they have people yes-manning them to death, and then you talk to them and you're like, you're one of the most uninteresting people I've ever met. You just created a machine that's unstoppable, but you got nothing really to say. You're just shitting out garbage. You're just constantly shitting out garbage. And people like garbage, dude. I like cheeseburgers from McDonald's, dude. I love McDonald's. I love Taco Bell. I love things that aren't good for me. We all love slop. But maybe that's the thing, too, is like stop eating the slop, dude. Stop watching those videos. I don't know. Let's stay away from the slop. I don't know. Just try and be off. Just try and say a thing that you believe. I think that's what we should all do as people. And who am I to tell the world what to do? But I can just do what I could just do something that I believe is right. And I think the only thing, if you identify with what I'm saying, if you feel like there's endless slop and it's nonstop and you're constantly inundated with shit that sucks, that you hate, or that you just think is like, why is this? Why is this? Why are we talking to that guy? Why are we talking to a 20-year-old who's talking about looks maxing, dude? It's not, he's 20, dude. In 5 years, he's going to figure out that his life means nothing, dude. Why are we talking to a guy who just left his parents' house, dude? I don't know. Like, I see someone talking to a 20-year-old on the internet and being like, bro, you're the next big thing. You're like so popular. Like, why is everyone so interested in what you're saying? Because there's a lot of other 12 to 20-year-old kids who think everything that person's doing is hilarious. It's not real shit. Looks maxing and all that, and Jester and looks maxing are popular because young boys get to use them as insults, dude. That's why it's popular. It's not the math. It's very easy on this. But then you'll have like adults talking to this guy and being like, "Yo, so what does Jester really mean?" It means you're an asshole. It doesn't mean much, dude. It's just silliness. It's just pure entertainment. It's fucking Taco Bell, dude. It's McDonald's. And there's nothing wrong with it, but you eat too much of it, you have a heart attack. So yeah, I don't know. Just say what you believe, dude. If you're trying to like be on the internet, if you're trying to like be a comedian, be a writer, be whatever the fuck, just if the world is telling you to follow the trend and do the thing so you get seen and go viral, but it feels wrong, don't do it. Do the opposite. Do the thing that you think feels good, and maybe if enough people are doing that again, that'll rise to the top because it'll finally be different. All this internet shit was different. Following the trends, all this shit is new shit that we've learned, and I think we know the rules now enough where we can start breaking them. And hopefully breaking those rules will, I don't know, make less slop exist. Who knows, dude? Anyway, I don't know. The timer's about to go out. I'm going to end a little bit early because my dog really needs to go for a walk. You want to go for a walk? 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 Come here. All right. Thank you guys for listening. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.
Jake, you're an idiot. Jake.